Hello, beautiful ladies, and welcome to today's video where we're going to be talking about the difference between trad and classic. So as you guys know, the motto for my channel is let's be classic, and to me that's so important because I live my life in a classic way, and as you know, I'm conservative, and those two things go hand in hand for me. So what does classic mean? What do I mean when I say the word classic? Classic means tradition refined. It means elegance and being poised and rejecting the idea of modern feminists, which is you can dress however you want, you can dress slovenly and never wash your hair, and every time is wine o'clock, and not taking seriously how wonderful it is to be a really feminine woman. The nice thing about being classic is that being classic applies to women in every stage of life and also in every performance of being a woman. So a woman who's a homemaker can be classic, and a woman who's in the workplace can be classic. Of course, it's important to have a family and to have a husband and to have children, and those things give you meaning. There are some women who need to work to help support their families, and there are some women who choose to work because they love their jobs. And those things are completely valid and can totally fit into the classic lifestyle. Being classic means embracing your womanhood for its real purpose. Embracing the idea of family. It's embracing the idea of being part of a community. It's embracing the things that make you very feminine. You can do that in your home, but you can also do that in the workplace and bring it home with you. There's room to be who you want to be in the definition of classic. If you want to be a homemaker and be classic, that's totally applicable. And if you want to be a woman who's in the workplace and is a mother, that's also totally applicable. So I love the idea of classic for that reason. Having a job that you're passionate about and that you really enjoy is wonderful. And the cool thing about it is that it should work hand in hand with having a family. It should be something that works for your family. The problem with the feminist ideal of work is that family is kind of an afterthought. Being classic puts work and family hand in hand. Being a mother, having work, being classic, all those things work together. From what I've seen on Twitter, trad is something a little bit different. It really emphasizes the idea of a submissive wife and a husband who goes out and supports her. And the gender roles in that scenario are very specified and very specific. He supports them, she stays home and takes care of the kids, does all the chores. He's not allowed to help her with the chores because that's not really his role. And what it ends up doing is it really alienates the women who want to be feminine and want to be classic or maybe even traditional by saying if you have a job or you aren't the one who's doing 100% of the chores, you aren't traditional. Now, of course, there are people on Twitter who would look at my definition of classic and say that that fits in with their definition of trad. But there are other people on Twitter who use trad in this very specific way. I'm not a huge fan of that second way, of that very specific way, because there are a lot of women who want to work and a lot of women who have to work who are still very feminine women and still want to be more traditional. And by saying you can only be trad if you do these specific things can cause some problems. So I think that's a problem with this very specific trad approach where you're saying that the only way to be feminine is to be a homemaker and to be in the home and to take control of all of the chores and that the husband can't help you with them. That is too specific to me. And it leaves out the women who are working, who have to work, or who want to work. There's room for us all to fit under the umbrella of classic. I don't think that there has to be only one specific definition. Another issue in this very specific definition of trad is that women are not really taking on the full role of wife. What do I mean by that? Well, women have the role of helping their husbands grow and helping their husbands become better in the same way that men do. And if you take on this incredibly gender-specific role of dominant husband and submissive wife, the husband can't really help his wife grow because of this kind of power imbalance, and the wife can't help her husband grow because of the power imbalance. So instead, I'm a big proponent of women helping their husbands grow, men helping their wives grow, and having a partnership. I think those are the best kind of marriages. If you are a person who is living a classic lifestyle and a conservative lifestyle, you know that one of the best parts of being a person is growing and changing and becoming better. And that can only happen in a marriage when each side of the marriage is pushing the other to be better and to grow. And what I've seen on Twitter of this very hyper-specific definition of trad is that women don't have that role. And I don't think that's good for anyone. I think what this all comes down to is that a lot of couples have a different dynamic at home. Sometimes, based on cultural differences, men will cook and the women will clean. Or maybe you have a home where you guys split the chores 50-50. And I don't think that that's a bad thing, and I don't think it makes a woman any less feminine. At the end of the day, the difference between being trad and classic is that trad is just simply too specific. Being classic and being trad definitely has overlap. Being classic is about having a purpose and is about living life in a way where you have a family and a community and you're feminine and you embrace your womanhood. But it doesn't only have to be as a homemaker. You can do that working from home. You can do that working a job. And by saying that you can only be the most feminine version of yourself as a homemaker and as a submissive wife, I think we're leaving a lot of money on the table. And I think a lot of classic women will feel left out. So that's why I'm saying, let's be classic. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Please subscribe to my channel and blog if you haven't already. Hit that notification bell to get notified of all my new videos. Head over to Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook and follow me there. Please head over to classicallyabby.locals.com if you'd like to see more of this content, support my channel, and be part of our community. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!